In this lesson, we're going to explore division by zero more deeply. We'll look at what division really means, what happens when you try to divide by zero, and see some concrete examples that explain why division by zero is undefined. Let's start by thinking about what division means. Often, we think of division as repeated subtraction or splitting things into groups. For example, 12 divided by 3 equals 4. That means if you have 12 objects, you can split them into 4 groups, each with 3 objects. But what about 12 divided by 0? If you try to make groups of 0 objects out of 12, you can never make a single group because 0 times anything is always 0. So this question doesn't have an answer. There's no way to split 12 into groups of 0. Another way to think about division is as the inverse of multiplication. If a divided by b equals c, then c times b equals a. For example, 15 divided by 5 equals 3, because 3 times 5 is 15. But what if we try 15 divided by 0 equals c? That would mean c times 0 equals 15. But c times 0 is always 0, so there is no solution for c. That's another reason why division by 0 is undefined. Sometimes people wonder if dividing by numbers very close to 0 is the same as dividing by 0. Let's see what happens if you divide 1 by smaller and smaller numbers. 1 divided by 0.1 equals 10. 1 divided by 0.01 equals 100. 1 divided by 0.001 equals 1,000. As the denominator gets smaller, the result gets bigger and bigger. It grows very quickly. This is why people sometimes say dividing by 0 tends toward infinity. But infinity is not a real number. It's a concept of unbounded growth. So dividing by 0 does not actually give infinity. Division by 0 breaks the basic rules of arithmetic. For example, multiplying any number by 0 is always 0, and division is the inverse of multiplication. If we could divide by 0, we would get contradictory results. That's why it is never allowed in mathematics. Let's look at some specific examples and sum up what we learned in a table. Here's a visual way to think about it. You can split objects into groups of any whole number, as we saw with the 12 dots earlier. But you can't group something into chunks of size 0, so division by 0 just doesn't make sense. If you ever see it, remember, it's always undefined. So remember, dividing by 0 is always undefined. Whether it's 6 divided by 0, 0 divided by 0, or any number divided by 0, the answer is always undefined.